If you want to get in contact with me, the best way to do it is on Instagram. If you just want to say what up, if you want to tell me you love my videos, you can tell me that you hate my videos, but the best way to do that is on Instagram. Peace, y'all. Jonny Fastlane here. So, Meek Mill and Nicki Minaj both released new music today, Friday, February 7th. And KD says that Drake is possibly the greatest rapper to ever touch the mic. Plus, JayDaYoungan gets arrested. Let's talk hip-hop. Alright, so this whole situation is crazy, right? So Meek Mill and Nicki Minaj have been going like back and forth with each other for like the last 2 weeks, right? All leading up to today, where both of them come out with brand new music. Separately though, not together, right? And this kind of has me feeling like, I don't know if all that was publicity for the new music that came out today, right? So the whole situation is that Meek Mill and Nicki Minaj were both in the headlines one time last week for getting in a shouting match in like a Louis Vuitton store or whatever, where Petty Zoo was there, right? So the whole situation is Meek was there with like 10 dudes, Nicki was there with one dude, her husband, and then they saw each other and they started arguing. You hear Nicki Minaj in the background screaming, "You can't get over me, you still thinking about me, blah, 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 blah." Then you see Petty Zoo like, "Come here, let me holler at you real quick, let me holler at you real quick." And Meek Mill didn't want to go holler at him because, you know, in the hood, "Let me holler at you over here real quick" means come over here so I can whoop your ass real quick, you know, or let me try to fight with you or something like that, right? Meek wasn't for it, and whatever. So they were in the headlines last week based off of that, right? But then this week, Nicki Minaj was in the headlines twice, and Meek was in the headlines once, right? So they both were in the headlines together yesterday for going back and forth with each other on Twitter, right? So the whole situation that happened is this meme right here was circulating Twitter. It's funny as hell. Somebody basically put it together and said that Petty Zoo looks like he shops off of the mannequin at Jimmy Jazz, right? Basically, he don't got no style. He just takes what's on the mannequin and puts it on, right? Apparently, Meek Mill must have liked that post, and Nicki Minaj saw it. When Nicki Minaj saw it, that's when she went off on Meek Mill, talking about, "You beat women, you beat me, you kicked your sister, blah, 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 blah," right? So Meek Mill responds and he's like, "Wow, I can't believe I'm arguing with you when my girlfriend is sitting next to me pregnant," and all that stuff like that, right? So they were going back and forth yesterday, and that's how they were in the headlines together yesterday, right? And then also a couple days prior to yesterday, what was yesterday? Thursday? So maybe, I don't know, Tuesday or something like that, Nicki Minaj released a snippet of her song called Yikes, and in that song she basically just said, "Rosa Parks, get your ass up, you bitches are Rosa Parks," or whatever, and then everybody was like, "Oh my god, you're disrespecting Rosa Parks." So Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill have done a really good job at being in the hip-hop headlines and on all the blogs pretty much for the last 2 weeks leading up to today, where both of them come out with a song, right? So Meek Mill comes out with a song called Believe with him and Justin Timberlake, and Nicki Minaj comes out with a song called Yikes, right? And it's both like on two separate ends of the spectrum, right? So this is crazy. So Meek Mill's song Believe with Justin Timberlake is talking about like believing in yourself and overcoming, you know, things that happened to you in the past and trying to help out your brother and everything, right? Where Yikes is Nicki Minaj talking her shit. She's saying these bitches are her sons. She's saying that she's the queen. And she's even throwing a couple shots at, I don't know, it sounds like she's throwing shots at Meek Mill, right? So there are two parts of the song where it kind of sounds like she's throwing shots at Meek Mill, right? One part, she's like, "Yo, we pulled your card, but your credit card declined," right? Kind of maybe sounds like she's referring to the shouting match that happened last week in the Louis store with her husband and Meek Mill. And then in the end of the song, she kind of throws a reference in there where she's like, "We getting money bags, we getting money bags. You were scared to respond to money bag," right? And I kind of think that she's talking to Meek Mill about that, right? So that whole situation is Meek Mill, like I said, got in trouble for liking a post on Instagram about Petty Zoo, right? He also liked another post on Instagram that Young Dolph put up, right? And basically Young Dolph was congratulating himself and making fun of Yo Gotti, right? Saying, "Ha ha 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 ha, I can't believe I made millions of dollars and went platinum off of a song that I did talking about fucking another nigga's woman," right? And we all know that he Young Dolph was talking about Yo Gotti in that post, right? Meek Mill liked that post too. And I don't know if Meek Mill has like, you know, an intern running his Instagram or whatever the case may be, but he got his ass in trouble twice this week for liking two things that he probably shouldn't have liked. You know, the Petty Zoo joint and then the Yo Gotti Young Dolph joint, right? So then Moneybagg Yo sees this and kind of says to Meek Mill, or he doesn't really say Meek Mill's name, but he says, if you like or double tap some fuck shit somebody posted about a nigga, don't act like you cool with the nigga that it's about when you see him. I don't get people, right? So Moneybagg Yo says that, and I think they was talking about Meek Mill, but I don't know if he was talking about the first post that Meek Mill liked, and if he was saying that I can't believe Meek Mill would even think that there wouldn't be any beef between you and Nicki Minaj's husband if you like that post, or if Moneybagg Yo is kind of defending Yo Gotti and saying, when you see me and Gotti together, don't act like you cool with us because I saw that you like Young Dolph's post, right? I'm not sure what post he's referring to, but either way, it fits. And Nicki Minaj called out Meek Mill and kind of referred to Moneybagg at the end of Yikes, right? So I just don't know, right? But anyway, that's what's going on for now. It all might just be for publicity, but that's what's going on for now. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.
I mean, I'm just gonna say Drake is creeping up to be the greatest
of all time.
Yeah.
You can't fight that.
All right, so KD sits down with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson and basically is talking about hip hop, which is dope, right? It's All the Smoke podcast, and I think it's on Showtime, right? So the whole situation is they're asking KD about Drake, and KD says that he believes that Drake is creeping up to be the greatest rapper of all time, right? And I hear you, right? So here's the whole thing, right? Drake is a huge rapper. He's very successful. He's been around at least since like 2008. He dropped that first mixtape, sounded like an album, you know what I'm saying? And he's been on top ever since then. He's written a lot of stuff for people. He's always debuted at #1. He's made millions of dollars. And the way that I kind of gauge whether a rapper is dope or not is not just skill, right? You can't be like one of the greatest rapper and have a lot of skill, like a Pusha T who has a lot of skill, but that's it, right? You also have to put other rappers on, right? Who did you help become a millionaire, right? Like Jay-Z, you know, they made millions, just made millions. Beans will tell you if he wasn't in his feelings, right? Like, he made a lot of people millionaires, right? And then Matt Barnes does ask, you know, KD, well, who else would even be close to a Drake? And he mentions Jay-Z and says that also it's hard for anybody to pass Jay-Z, right? And I agree with that too, right? For me, I think Jay-Z is the greatest rapper of all time because of his philanthropy, his, you know, ability to make other people around him millionaires too. Like, if I'm filthy rich, that's cool, but if everybody else around me, you know, can't pay their rent and their car note and everything like that, then something is wrong, right? And I'm not saying that's going on with Drake, but I'm saying that Jay-Z has time and time again made Tata a millionaire. Anybody, Myth Bleak, like, he is employing people, giving them jobs. I know you from back in the day, and you coming with me, right? Whereas Drake, you know, he is kind of in and out with, you know, The Weeknd, and, you know, him and Tory Lanez kind of had a falling out, but now they cool again. So with Drake, it's kind of weird. And he did attempt to, like, get, you know, Party Next Door put on and try to help Party Next Door make millions, but something happened with that, right? Like, P&D is coming out with something new pretty soon, but he ain't going as hard as, you know, somebody else would, right? Like, Dr. Dre made Eminem a millionaire. He made 50 Cent a millionaire, right? And that's showing, like, how great somebody can be, right? But Drake is not quite there yet, right? And no shade to Drake, because Drake also started out in 2008, and that's like 12 years after Jay-Z started out back in 1996. So of course you got to give Drake some time, right? So if this dude Jay-Z is here at this level today, then I'm sure that Drake will be at this level less than 12 years from now, which is dope, right? So I feel you, right? But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. All right, so this just in, right? Happening now, successful warrant service, right? Constable deputies responded to a residence in the 1400 block of Rocky Glen Lane to execute a felony warrant on a male suspect. The male suspect was located hiding in the attic. He is now in custody, right? This happened in Texas, but this is JayDaYoungan. The male suspect was JayDaYoungan, or JayDaYoungan, and he is from Louisiana, right? So the whole situation is, I guess somebody called the cops on him and said that he was physically abusing a pregnant woman. Whoever that pregnant woman is, I don't know, whether it's his girlfriend and she happens to be pregnant, a random stranger, if they got the wrong guy, or whatever the case may be, but they heard that he was doing something with a pregnant woman, so the cops came out and they were looking for him and they were searching for him, right? They had to search for him for a little while, but then they found him in an attic of like some building or some apartment complex, right? The thing is that when they found him in the attic, he had weed on him, and in the state of Texas, even a small amount of weed, no bueno, right? So that's felony drug charges. They found Percocets on him, also no bueno, right? And then they found a gun on him too, right? So JayDaYoungan knew the cops was looking for him, but still had all of this stuff in his pockets, right? They did arrest him, and he's sitting in jail right now, but they did give him a bond, right, of $20,000. So I'm sure he's just gonna post bond and then get out and basically picks up another case, and then hopefully he'll be able to beat it and pay it in lawyer fees, right? But the whole thing is crazy because, like, I fucks with JayDaYoungan, right? I think he's dope. His music is cool. He's a cool ass rapper. I done seen him giving food back to like the homeless and everything like that around the holidays. Like, JayDaYoungan is cool, but he's also young, and stuff like this does happen to young people. But I'm sure that JayDaYoungan will be okay. You know, free JayDaYoungan and hold your head, right? But let me know what y'all think about this and everything else in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Follow me at Jonny Fastlane on Instagram, and y'all already know what to do. Peace.